Going on to you, Pisces. So you have the Ace of Swords, the Nine of Wands, the Knight of Wands, the Two of Wands, Six of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune, the Knight of Swords, the King of Cups, the Star, and last but not least, you Pisces have the Ten of Wands. So what I'm seeing here for you Pisces, right, is, and I'm seeing how a lot of you, the Ace of Swords, the Nine of Wands, the Knight of Wands, I will say that you have an opportunity to get to know somebody right now, or around right now, because I know that a lot of you are starting to, get attention or attract attention from, other people, and which is good, of course, that's the point. But someone's coming in your life where they will be attracted to you. They'll say something to you, but they're also waiting to see if you'll give them attention as well. So they're around. They may even be coming off as a friend, and you Pisces are going to definitely have to keep an eye open to know if they like you like that. So if you have anybody that you may end up being attracted to potentially, or just in general, if you have someone that is around you, that is talking to you and stuff like this, they could be very scared to talk to you, and you may just have to, let them know that you're into them, or not necessarily be that strong with it, but begin to talk to them and find out where it is that it goes, right? Ask them to hang out with you. Ask them to hang out with you, the two of y'all by yourselves, right? And see what it is that they say. More than likely, they'll say yeah. The Two of Wands and the Six of Pentacles, excuse me. This represents how a lot of you Pisces, this represents the two of you, right? And what I'm honestly seeing here is really so far so good. They more than likely, they'll say yeah for the ones who haven't done it yet. For the ones who have, they said yes. And the two of you actually hung out, and it's great. Or you will hang out with them, and it'll be great. Like I said, this is overall a very good reading, because a lot of you Pisces are actually starting to get what it is that you want, right? So the Wheel of Fortune represents, so now this person said yes, you've hung out with them, or you're going to hang out with them. Now it's all about you paying attention to them, as well as you making a good impression. Just be yourself. It really doesn't have too much to think about. You really don't have to think too hard. Just honestly be yourself. And if the two of you are not compatible, then the two of you are not compatible. And honestly, people being themselves is really the hardest part, due to the fact that a lot of people want to be in a relationship with someone that they wouldn't be long term, due to the fact that they wouldn't fit in well with the other person. You know what I mean? And the reason why I'm saying that in the first place is because of the fact that, since that's the case, you're gonna act like you may like skydiving, knowing good and well that you don't even want to try it, but you're doing it just to impress the other person. On one hand, it shows that you're learning how to be open-minded, but then on the other hand, it can kind of show and prove that you need to work on setting up those boundaries. And if you and the person end up not wanting to hang out with each other again, or not talking to each other after the two of you hang out by yourselves together, then it means that it is what it is, right? Because ultimately, there's a lane open for everyone. There's a lane open for people who are in open relationships. There's a lane open for multiple people, all of that type of stuff. Then now you have the Knight of Swords and the King of Cups. The Knight of Swords and the King of Cups represents this being a situation for for them, where they will let you know that they're interested and they want to get to know you again. They really like you, stuff like this. So this is the point of what it is that I'm making. The two of you actually go well together. So far so good. You Pisces are very much so starting off on the right foot, the correct foot. You already have made a very good impression, for the ones of you that has already done that. For the ones of you who haven't, Stop worrying so much about making a good impression and just do what it is that you're going to do. And because ultimately, even if you were starting to get to know them and the two of you were dating and all of that type stuff, the two of you were together, eventually, if you were putting on a front, that front has to slip anyway. Their front will slip, right? Where they won't, however they are, when they're not putting on an act, will eventually slip anyway. So the star and the 10 of wands represent, so as a result of this, the star card and the 10 of wands really is about how all that's really left to do, because the two of you already hit it off, is for the two of you to just keep the interest with each other. For them, it's for you to continue to be yourselves and to continue to be your Pisces selves, right? Pisces can be unpredictable and exciting, right? You know, just very much so like Aquarius, never really a dull moment. And the 10 of wands represents, and make sure that this person ultimately, you know, is who they acted like they are up front. But the 10 of wands also represents just, you know, it can represent walking away, right? But it doesn't necessarily mean walking away from this person. It can mean walking away from a situation where you just want something, but you never get it. Walking away from that. So walking away from something that you never get to actually something that you do get. And instead of looking at it from a perspective of constantly, right, the star, looking at it from a perspective of constantly thinking about it in a manner of what coulda, shoulda, woulda, high expectations, preferences, right? Getting real with yourself on the reality of what it is that you really want. So to clarify this, let's clarify the 10 of wands. Let's clarify the 10 of wands. So to clarify the 10 of wands, we have the 5 of cups, the justice, the 8 of pentacles, the wheel of fortune. That's very interesting because I'm seeing how it is that the two of you pretty much hit it off. But then to clarify the 10 of wands, you have the 5 of cups, the justice, the 8 of pentacles, and the wheel of fortune. Okay, so this person, the 5 of cups, the justice, this person may be thinking about you and comparing you to their couple of things, potentially to their inexperience that they have getting to know other people, thinking that they're not good enough, or their ex, one of their exes. And the justice represents that, you know, there's no need for them to do that, but they will essentially end up doing that in the first place, which goes back to their inexperience. The 8 of pentacles and the wheel of fortune, however, represents, it's now pretty much, this is why it is that I told you, Pisces, to not try too hard. And the reason why I'm saying that in the first place is because if you would have tried too hard, this person would have definitely been like, nah, the two of us are not compatible, even though they didn't really get a chance to see that you can be, you know, unpredictable and wild and crazy and fun-loving and stuff like this. But then at the same time, you Pisces also have to take into consideration that due to these people's lack of experience, they're really in a place right now where, because of the fact that you're able to be yourselves, they weren't really ready for that as far as you to be yourselves, because they're now comparing you to their ex, thinking about how you're better than their ex. But it's still a comparison, right? They're not actually able to enjoy themselves all the way. That's still that stupid comparison. The 8 of pentacles and the wheel of fortune is about how, so for you is that just take it slow, and you Pisces should be getting to know them, but just let them know, like, you know, if they're doing that, if they're going to compare you to their ex and they're not doing their own personal work to get over it, to stop analyzing it and understand that they have closure. They had the closure that they needed from the past, and that they're stepping into a new relationship, it may be time for you, Pisces, to leave.